What if I told you that it's okay to not have it all figured out, even at 50? We are all chasing something: success, happiness, love, purpose. But what if the chase is what's killing us? This isn't a motivational speech filled with pretty words and perfect lives. This is raw, real, messy, just like life. This is your story, even if you don't know it yet. Because life doesn't come with a manual. It comes with moments, some beautiful, some brutal, and all of them shape you. Your 20s, the decade of confusion. Welcome to your 20s, the most romanticized and misunderstood decade of your life. You leave school thinking you'll land your dream job, find your soulmate, travel the world, and by 29, you'll be rich. Here's the truth. Most 20-somethings are broke, confused, insecure, and scared. You're thrown into the real world with bills, deadlines, expectations, and a social media feed that makes you feel like you're falling behind every day. You apply for 100 jobs. No one calls back. You move back in with your parents and wonder, did I fail already? Your friend from college is making 6 figures at a tech startup. You're working part-time at a coffee shop. But let me tell you this, your 20s are not about winning. They're about learning. This is the decade of trial and error. You date the wrong people, take the wrong jobs, say yes when you should say no. And guess what? That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Because mistakes aren't failures. They're blueprints. They're maps to who you are. The most powerful thing you can do in your 20s is to give yourself permission to not know. Curiosity is your superpower. Ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? Who am I when no one is watching? What do I want my life to feel like, not just look like? Don't chase the perfect life. Chase the real one. Let your life be a playground, not a prison. Try new things. Move to new cities. Say yes to opportunities you don't feel ready for, because that's where growth lives, and when it feels like everyone else has it figured out. Remember, they probably don't either. Your 30s, the decade of pressure. Your 30s come in fast and loud. People start asking, when are you settling down? Are you buying a house? How's your career going? The world expects answers, but you still have questions. You might be married or divorced or still single and wondering if love will ever come. You might have kids or be struggling to have them or not want them at all. You look around and realize everyone is living a different version of adulthood, and none of them look like what we imagined. Here's a twist. One woman I knew got married at 23, had 2 kids by 28, and by 33, she was divorced, starting over, and finally chasing her dream of being a writer. Her life didn't end. It began. Another guy I met traveled the world in his 20s, partied, lived free. At 35, he settled down, found love, and started a nonprofit helping kids with trauma. All because he never stopped listening to that quiet voice inside him. In your 30s, you realize 2 things. No one knows what they're doing. You have more control than you think. This is when comparison becomes a silent killer. Social media shows highlight reels, but your life is not a performance. Your job is not your identity. Your relationship status is not your value. Your bank account is not your worth. Ask yourself, what am I doing just to keep up? What would I quit today if I didn't care what anyone thought? Who is the future me? And what does that version need from me now? Don't live to impress, live to express. This is the decade where you stop asking for permission, and don't be afraid to pivot. Life isn't a straight line, it's a maze. And sometimes, the best things are found when you take a wrong turn. Your 40s, the decade of awakening. By the time you hit 40, something strange happens. You start to see through the noise. You've played the game, chased the promotions, lived the expectations, and then you pause. You ask, is this it? Some call it a midlife crisis. I call it a midlife awakening. Because in your 40s, you begin to shed the layers that aren't you. You realize how short life is and how fast it's moving. You might leave a job you hate. You might start therapy. You might fall in love again. You might forgive yourself for everything you did before you knew better. One man I knew sold his business at 42. Everyone thought he was crazy. But he moved to the mountains, started woodworking, and smiled more in 6 months than he had in 6 years. A woman I met lost her mother at 45. It shattered her, but it also made her reconnect with her daughter, take that trip to Italy, and finally write that book. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? If I died in 5 years, what would I regret not doing? Who do I need to forgive, including myself? This is the decade to rewrite the script. Your best years are not behind you. They might be just beginning. Start saying yes to what fills your soul and no to what drains it, because you're not running out of time. You're stepping into your truth. Your 50s, the decade of clarity, and then you arrive at 50. You're not old, you're seasoned. You've lived, loved, lost, broken, healed. And now, you see clearly. You stop trying to prove yourself. You just want to be yourself. The noise quiets, the pressure fades. What remains is truth. You care more about peace than opinions, more about moments than money, more about meaning than masks. I know a man who started painting at 53 just for fun. By 56, he had his first gallery show, not because he wanted fame, but because creating brought him back to life. I met a woman who forgave her father at 52 after decades of silence. It freed her. Your 50s are not the end of the book. They're the plot twist. This is where you mentor, lead, teach, love deeper, laugh louder. This is where you stop waiting for the perfect time and start living in real time. Ask yourself, what legacy am I leaving? Who am I when the world is quiet? What do I want the rest of my life to feel like? You've earned your scars. Now wear them as badges. You've earned your wisdom. Now share it. And more than anything, allow yourself to enjoy the life you've built. You don't have to chase anymore. You get to be. Here's the truth no one tells you. There's no finish line, no right way, no perfect age to have it all together. Every decade will break you in some way, but it will also build you. So stop comparing, stop doubting, stop waiting. Live messy, live brave, live yours, because your story is still being written, and the next chapter, it might just be the best one yet. Keep going. You're exactly where you need to be. Dedicated to everyone who thought they were running out of time. You're not. You're right on time.